Oh, so a group of bandits have kidnapped the daughter of a friend of his, eh? Welcome back to A Clash of Kings 7.0 Reformers, and we're going to be starting with this kidnapping mission. And, as you may notice, I have included the battle map on the screen at all times now, so we can actually see exactly what's going on with our opponent, and I've made it a little bit smaller so it doesn't take up as much screen real estate. But anyway, I have leveled up a couple of our levies into man-at-arms, and some of the man-at-arms that we leveled up in the previous episode, they have also leveled up into, well, one Vanguard and one, I believe it is a veteran man-at-arms. I believe the Vanguard does not level up any further, which is a bit of a problem, but it does have a massive, as you can see, two-handed sword. So I think we should be okay with him, but he's going to be kind of, well, I'm going to say a little bit less defensive than we would potentially like, so he might very well get himself killed before we are even able to utilize his skills. So let's see whether that is indeed the case, because these are the bandits that have kidnapped the daughter of the friend of the guildmaster, and his uncle's niece's friend's brother said that his accountant has information for us. Yes, I'm obviously just joking because of, you know, a daughter of a friend of mine. Yes, exactly, you know, so. Anyway, point is, I still have my wonderful rusty sword, and I will hopefully be able to find one as we go forward in our adventures here. I'm actually hoping that I might be able to get one from a quest at some point, but if I'm not, then that's okay, you know, that's absolutely fine. As long as I'm able to get some good experience, get my people leveling up, that's all that I really care about. And hopefully my Vanguard's going to do some good damage this time around. I haven't seen him get any kills so far, but maybe I missed it. So, yeah, there we go. There's a veteran Stormlander man-at-arms. We have, I think, one of those as well. So I'm hopeful that they will not die, because obviously I do not have any medical skills whatsoever, which is a big problem. So I'm hopeful that, hopeful that we will be able to gain a companion that can actually utilize medic skills, but I've been told in the comments that maybe the companions might be a little hard to find. Come with me, we are going home. Now let's see if there's any armor here that we want to take. It doesn't seem like it, not for me at the moment, so I'm just going to be taking this to sell. And there we have it. Thank you so much for bringing me back. I can't wait to see my family. Thankfully, we were very close by to the Weeping Town for this quest, so pretty easy to get back here. And now we are just going to be selling everything here. I personally feel like I will not be buying a new sword, and instead I will probably be purchasing a... I'm thinking probably a mace of some kind, and then we'll see what we can do with that. Because personally, I feel like the mace is going to be so much better because it will do much more damage. And you can see here, I think blunt weapons are definitely going to be something that I am going to be investing in, at least to begin with, because from what I've heard so far about A Clash of Kings 7.0 is that, ooh, this might actually be nice. That actually seems pretty cool. I'm actually going to be buying that immediately, because what I've heard is that heavy armor is very powerful in this mod, and I would like to try and make sure that we are as prepared as possible for when we actually fight someone that has full plate armor, which is going to happen. It's just a matter of time. So, I've actually taken a quest to hunt down a so-called murderer, and this is the fellow. We actually found him in a nearby village. And it took me a bit of time to actually find him, so we'll see whether I can actually deal with him now that we have. I come not for money, but to execute the law. Okay, so this is where I actually get to try out my new weapon. Whoa, okay, it's actually pretty awesome. I like this. I like this weapon. I'm actually kind of surprised that I was able to find such an effective weapon for such a small amount of money. But obviously, we are up against someone that is wearing relatively similar armor to us, so the true test will be when we actually fight a worthy opponent. And we have now returned to the Lord that gave us that quest. So, Lord Caspar Wilde, here you are. I found Petar the Bald hiding at King's Way and gave him his punishment. Yes, okay, so I'm actually wondering whether I should be taking this money, to be honest, because 300 at this point, it's not that bad, but is honor better? That's the thing. Honor is obviously very good to have, so maybe I should not do that. You know what? I'm going to take the money. I'm going to take the money for the moment. Do you have any other tasks? Are you sure? Are you sure you don't have any other tasks? Are you sure you don't? So I think it's about time that we actually leveled up, because as you can see, I've gained 3 levels and I haven't actually done anything with any of my attribute points. So because I am attempting to be a very strong warrior when it comes to actually wanting to level up here, I'm going to just put all of my points in strength, and we're also going to be getting a huge amount of points in Iron Flesh and Power Strike. Usually I like to get about maybe like 6 in Iron Flesh, 6 in Power Strike, and then start working on other combat skills like Athletics, Shield, and so on. I'm going to be putting my people in shield wall for this particular engagement because, let's see, these guys are Kingswood outlaws. I have no idea what kind of units these are, but I'm very much hoping that we will be able to handle them. We do have superior numbers. As you can see, we have 28 against the enemy's 17. But I have never fought these guys ever before, so going into a formation in this point is probably going to be, well, shall we say, a little bit advantageous in comparison to not doing that. So let's see if we can actually do something here. Okay, he's got a dagger. He's got heavy armor. Is that heavy armor? Ooh, okay. I hope that's not heavy armor. That's all I can say. But he's going to get absolutely murdered if he walks in there. As you can see, at least his horse is dead. So I suppose that's okay. But he seems to have the same weapon I do. Are you serious right now? That's not very good. Oh, well, it seems like our guys are actually fine. And they are they are murdering them very easily in actual fact. I'm kind of surprised about that, to be honest. I really thought that we were going to have some difficulties with them. But who knows? Maybe we're still going to have difficulties. It just depends. Let's just send our people now in, because we don't really want them to just shoot at us and murder us from afar. Thank you very much. We actually ended up losing a man-at-arms because of my delay in telling my forces to attack their archer division. But it seems like the Kingswood Outlaws really did not have anything for us to worry about, which is kind of strange, because I actually thought that we were going to have some difficulties, but that's okay. That means that we are more powerful than I anticipated, and that's great. That's great, because that means I'll get overconfident and attack the enemy liege head on. Hopefully not. We have finally arrived in King's Landing, and, well, we actually took out those Kingswood Outlaws very, very close by to here. Anyway, Coppersmith's Wynd is a street going through one of the moderately wealthy parts of King's Landing. The street originally housed the Guild of Coppersmiths, but they have long ago disappeared, and visitors can now find a plethora of bookshops, spice dealers, scribes, goldsmiths, and minor noble houses on the street. So let us visit Malco's bookstore. Hello, Malco. Ah, a customer. How can I help you, my good man? I've been sent by Archmaester Harridan, actually. Joyous news! My last procurer had a nasty accident a couple of months back. Cut himself on a fine piece of vellum, and would you believe it, it turned gangrenous. Lost his whole hand. Sad story, so sad. At least it wasn't his right hand. He'll still be able to work as a scribe. Oh, so he's left-handed. Okay, so what does a procurer do? They procure books. I have many contacts throughout the Seven Kingdoms, and you wouldn't believe the kind of lost knowledge the lords and knights of the realm have hidden away in their cellars. Once I found a piece of septon baths, dragons, worms, and wyverns, their unnatural history, being used as a tablecloth in the room of an old blind knight. Sold it to Tyrion Lannister for a king's ransom. Even the Citadel itself cannot outbid a Lannister, but they are my most persistent customers, the maesters. But what do you need me for? Oh, Elias, oh, you're so naive. I can't leave my shop to go gallivanting around the world looking for books, but I can't send a soft scribe in my place either. Even at the best of times, the roads can be hazardous. But you look like a tough sort, and I have work for someone tough. I've heard rumors of a book hidden away in the Vale. It might be multiple books, to tell you the truth. It's referenced in various texts, most notably in one of Bath's fragments. It goes by different names. Morg Turgon and Palone Tivagon in High Valyrian, but it's most often called the Mysteries of the Worm. Who knows which one is real? I think it's a myth, but imagine if not. We could sell the book to the maesters for unimaginable riches. It's very valuable? I see. Yes, it should be. Anyway, not really. Oh, it's not. Well, that's unfortunate. Anyway, Marwyn writes that the people of Ashai tell tales of the book. It's supposed to be an introduction to all kinds of magic. Silly superstitions. But the maesters have labored long and hard to eradicate supposed magical textbooks, and a find such as this would be another step towards that goal, so they'd pay well to have it destroyed. According to my sources, Septon has been making mentions of a magical book in the northwestern part of the Vale. Go there and talk to him, Elias. Find out if there's any truth to the whole thing. I'll reward you handsomely. And here's a bit of an advance. So he actually gave me 500, which is actually pretty good. I'm actually kind of happy about that. Let's take a look at the weapons here. Ooh, that's actually a really nice weapon. If I was playing a two-handed build right now, I'd probably consider buying that, but at the moment, definitely not something for me. I'm using a decent enough shield, and I actually picked up another one of these long clubs, just in case I come across a companion that can potentially use it, because it has no strength requirement. We have now arrived at the Crossroads Inn. The corpse in the gibbet above your head appears to have been there for quite some time. Bird droppings are everywhere, and small scraps of meat are still hanging on the corpse. The crows must have been at it. Yeah, as you can see right there, that's the corpse they're talking about. Whoa, that's pretty harsh. Alright, so let me see if I can try and explore here a little bit, because you can gain some experience by exploring these neutral locations. The burned-down dwelling appears to have been destroyed recently, with smoke and small fires still coming from the woodwork. Alright, so we just have to take a look at some of the more important environmental, shall we say, locations? Yeah. Some of the more interesting locations. Let's have a look around here. Wait, this tree might be something? No, apparently not. Okay, well, I'm going to look around a little bit more then and see if I can find the last thing, because gaining some experience for free, I'll take it. The inn appears to have been abandoned. The doors are locked and no noise can be heard from inside. The surrounding area is trodden down, and evidence of a large gathering of men and horses has been found, I guess it said. Anyway, you've successfully explored the Crossroads Inn. Fantastic. Ah, so it seems like we have now arrived at the Septry. You arrive at a lonely Septry in the most remote part of the Vale, where the waters of the Neck dissipate. The countryside is barren and windswept, and only a few poor peasants make their home here, close to the mountains. Alright, let's visit it. Ah, hello there. Wow, this is very lonely, I've got to say. A blessing, my good man. The Father above is all the protection you need. Lay down your weapons and rejoice in his holy light. I'm looking for a book. What book? The Mysteries of the Worm? Never heard of it. Only book a godly man needs is the seven-pointed star. Everything else is just worldly knowledge soon to be forgotten. Why waste your time with books about plants when you could show your devotion to the seven instead? Oh, books about plants? Okay. So you haven't heard anything about a book. It's supposed to be rare. Haven't heard anything about much recently or lately. This is a remote corner of the world, my little place of worship. The small folk around here are simple with simple needs and simple dreams. Do you know anyone who might have knowledge of books in the area? Can't say I do, though perhaps Sir Elston has heard something. His holdings are to the east of here, close to the foot of the mountains. We're very isolated here, but if anyone has heard anything about the books, it's either Sir Elston or his maester. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. I very much appreciate the assistance. So let us move. And that means that we should probably go over there. Let's have a look at the quest. Visit the holdings of Sir Elston to the east of the Septry. So I assume the holdfast is where we need to go. I am a bit worried about this because I seem to remember this quest from a while ago. So yes, this might be problematic. Anyway, you arrive at an old holdfast. The structure is ancient, perched on the top of a looming hill overlooking a minor village. The villagers eye you sullenly as you pass by, many of them looking oddly alike, until you realize that many of them are probably related. The air is somehow thick, and in the distance you can almost make out an old forest, the trees tall and gnarled, reaching for the sky. Enter the holdfast. Alright, so that means we are not going to be attacked, thankfully. Not just yet, at least. He's all by himself here? Well, this is kind of creepy. There's the book. I think that might be the book there. Terrible weather, isn't it? It feels sour. Something's wrong with it. What do you mean? This whole place is wrong. Should have stayed on the road. Never wanted this. I'm Sir Elston Boone, the last of House Boone. Stuck here. The last Boone, stuck. Inherited these holdings from a distant cousin last year. Used to be a tawny knight. What a life. Riding from town to town, not a care in the world. Now I'm shackled to this place. I'm looking for a rare book, and was wondering if I might consult with your maester. The Mysteries of the Worm? I can see from your reaction that's the one. Cadwin has not been talking about anything else for weeks. Found it mentioned in some old papers left behind by some of my ancestors. Mentioned something about Witch Isle and the Upcliffs. Cadwin was sure he could figure out where the book went. Wait, did you hear that? There's something in the walls. Perhaps it's just rats, but they'd have to be a monstrous size. Can I talk to Maester Cadwin? Afraid not, Elias. Why not? He killed himself. Just 2 days ago. Cut his own throat. Bad way to go. It's this sour air. It turns everyone mad. He rambled for days, you know, shouting about the long night, about great white spiders and wights walking up and down a wall. His trip to the barrow changed him. Should never visit barrows, Elias. The dead sleep better when not disturbed. Oh, ho, ho. Okay, so what's that book then? What is that book? Is that your diary? He's not willing to tell me. Your journey to the barrow was harrowing. The ground in the area is squishy, watery, and smells rotten. Vapors seep from the trees, many of them fallen over or molding, and wildlife is almost non-existent, except for a few rats scurrying across your path. The barrow rises ahead of you, a cluster of stones on top of a hill, though not much of the area is submerged in water. Although much, even. Ha! The air is putrid, filled with miasmas and all kinds of foul smells, and thick. Somehow thick. Let us inspect it. Alright, so I actually do have a couple of friends helping me out here. I'm a bit worried about this, because I'm stumbling. You couldn't script it, could you? You really could not script the stumbling. Isn't it great? Okay, so hello. Is this someone I need to be worried about? Because I think I have his number, to be honest. Oh, crazed cultist. That's what you get. You almost got massively murdered just by some regular levy. That is a creepy-looking statue if ever I saw one. And oh yeah, we have a whole bunch of wonderful things. There's a torch as well. But anyway, yeah, dried meat, all that wonderful stuff, sausages, tools, lumber. Yeah, it's pretty nice. And an exquisite bottle of persimmon wine. You are victorious. Alright, so lost knowledge. Return to Malco. Okay, so I'm just going to be returning to Malco then, by the looks of things. Elias Mormont, tell me, did you find the book? I did not. Oh, what a shame. Just a rumor then, nothing to it? I hear all kinds of stories, most of them untrue. You wouldn't believe the nonsense tales that originate in remote hamlets. I did hear of a fragment of the book. You did? Tell me more. A maester found a clue or a sliver of notes pertaining to it. I tried to find where it was, but all I found was a crazed man who had sacrificed to an old tree. He'd written the name Ig on a stone with the blood of one of his victims. Yig, you say? How quaint. The Ironborn tell tales of how their legendary ruler, the Grey King, carved the first longship from a tree called Yig. Supposedly, a demon lived in the tree, a demon with the power of foresight. Anyone who had their future told by Yig would inevitably meet with tragedy. Yig always chose to tell the future in a way that would cause the most pain to the world. Is the story true, though? Not really. How could it be? A demon living in a tree? Sounds like the maester you mentioned got caught up in some fancy tale of his own. But forget about that. At least you tried to find the book. That's worth a reward. And he actually gave us a pretty sizable amount of cash right there, so I'm pretty happy with that. And, well, I could technically sell the exquisite bottle of persimmon wine, but I'm kind of thinking that maybe it might be kind of useful at some point. So I'm going to keep it just in case we need to give it to someone at some point. It's probably unlikely, but I don't think I've ever seen some in any of the marketplaces. But who knows? Maybe it's going to be something that's just absolutely useless, and I am keeping it for no apparent reason. But it's fine, because I have, well, a pretty sizable amount of inventory space anyway, so it's not really a big deal. And it seems like there aren't any companions in here either, so it seems like I haven't been able to find any, unfortunately. But with that, that will be the end of this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.